Welcome back to the Chattable podcast, where we learn real English in real life and have fun and be proud. So for this episode today, we're doing something a little different.
Yeah, we're really getting into the psychology of words.
Exactly, because we have these 3 specific English phrases about life and our environment, and we're not just looking at what they mean, we're looking at, how and when to use them perfectly.
Because vocabulary isn't just about knowing definitions,
Yeah.
right? It's about the temperature of the words.
The temperature, yes. And, if you use a word that's slightly too hot or too cold for a situation, you can completely derail a conversation.
Oh, absolutely. It's a social tool.
So let's jump right into the first one, which is all about environments. I was reading this article about the founder of the Watergate Museum.
Okay, yeah.
And he actually lives inside this brutalist, gray, concrete block, by choice.
Why choice?
Yeah. And the source sentence we have says, "The feeling of living in a concrete block may seem off-putting to many other people, but it delights the founder of the Watergate Museum."
Off-putting. That is such a precise choice of word there.
It really is. It feels very specific, right?
It does, because when you hear off-putting, you instantly understand this ambient sense of discomfort.
Yeah.
But to really get it, you have to look at the history of the phrase.
Oh, I love the history stuff. Where does it come from?
So if you go back to the mid-19th century, it started as just the phrasal verb to put off.
Like putting off a meeting?
Actually, no. Originally, it had a much more active physical meaning. It meant to literally distract someone or, physically repel them.
Oh, like if I'm trying to read and someone keeps tapping my shoulder.
Precisely. It's a physical distraction. But over time, the psychology shifted from physical to emotional.
Right.
So if something puts you off, it actively drains your enthusiasm. It repels your appetite for whatever you were doing.
That makes so much sense. And then it just mashed together into one word.
Yeah, people used it so much to describe the vibe of a place that it just merged into that single hyphenated adjective we use today, off-putting.
I really want to focus on that repelling your appetite thing because I think it perfectly captures the mildness of the word.
Mildness is key, yeah.
Here's an analogy I always use when I try to explain this word. Imagine you've been waiting for months to get a reservation at this amazing Michelin star restaurant.
Oh, high stakes.
Very high stakes.
Right. You finally get there. The lighting is perfect. The waiter brings out this gorgeous plate of food.
That's great so far.
It looks flawless. You're so excited. You lean in, take a deep breath to smell it, and it smells faintly of, lemon-scented dish soap.
Oh, no. That is a painfully clear picture.
Yeah. And think about the stakes here. Your life isn't in danger.
Right, the building isn't on fire.
Exactly. It's not a trauma.
Yeah.
But that faint chemical smell just entirely ruins the magic.
Uh-huh.
You lose your appetite for that specific meal. That is the definition of off-putting. And that analogy gets right to the core of it. Off-putting is strictly for the mildly unpleasant. It's a friction.
It rubs you the wrong way.
Exactly. So going back to your concrete room example, the architecture acts just like the dish soap.
Right. A concrete wall isn't evil.
No, it's not going to attack you. But to most people, a cold, windowless concrete room just lacks warmth. It repels the desire to relax.
It's ambiently unappealing.
Perfectly said. And we see this in professional environments, too, not just restaurants or buildings.
Right. In our research, we had that great note about Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, yeah. The kitchen nightmares.
When he walks into one of those failing restaurants and the kitchen is just, completely messy, disorganized, covered in grease, he often describes it as off-putting.
Which is so accurate for his relationship to that space.
Yeah.
To a chef, a kitchen is a sanctuary, right?
Totally. Cooking is his whole identity, so stepping into a chaotic workspace actively distracts him from the joy of his craft.
The environment is hostile to his enthusiasm.
Yes. But, okay, since it is so mild, we shouldn't use it for something genuinely terrible, right? What are the boundaries?
That is a very important question, because the mildness is the whole point. Let me ask you, what happens if a situation goes way beyond a messy kitchen?
Okay, let's test it. Say I'm driving, traffic stops, and I roll past a massive multi-car accident, a really dangerous scene. Could I say, wow, that car crash is really off-putting?
Oh, wow. I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
It's too weak.
It's way worse than weak. It sounds almost sociopathic.
Oh, wow.
Think about your dish soap analogy. Off-putting means a ruined vibe. If you use a word that means mildly distracted enthusiasm for a severe trauma...
You sound like you have zero empathy.
Exactly. You're treating a profound human tragedy as a minor inconvenience to your day.
That is a huge social misstep. So for a car crash, you'd need words like horrifying or devastating.
Right. You must match the temperature of the vocabulary to the reality. And there's one more strict rule with off-putting.
What's that?
You should never use it to describe a person's physical appearance.
Wait, really? Not even if they're wearing like a genuinely terrible outfit?
Well, an outfit is a choice. You can find a neon green suit off-putting.
Okay, so clothes are fine.
Right, but I'm talking about someone's actual bodily traits, their face, their body. If you call a human's physical appearance off-putting, you are essentially telling them their existence repels you.
Oh, that is deeply cruel.
It is extremely rude and dehumanizing. So we keep it to choices, environments, and behaviors.
Got it. A rude tone from a waiter. Off-putting. A concrete bedroom. Off-putting. Human tragedy or physical traits. Never.
That perfectly summarizes it.
Okay, so let's transition from environments that mildly annoy us to things that just entirely break our expectations.
Now we're getting into breaking the rules.
Yes. I want to share the next sentence from our source material. It's about this building in Beijing called the National Center for the Performing Arts.
Oh, also known as the egg, right?
Exactly, the egg. The sentence is, many critics dismiss the National Center for the Performing Arts in Beijing, also known as the egg, out of character in a district famous for structures of historical interests.
Out of character. That is one of the most vividly historical idioms we have.
I find this one so fascinating. Like, we're applying a human acting term to a giant building.
It is wild. To understand it, we actually have to travel back to the literal theatrical stage.
Okay, set the scene for me.
Think about the agreement between an actor and the audience. When an actor steps on stage, they have a script, a personality, a set of rules.
Right, they're playing a part.
Exactly. Let's say it's an actor playing a deeply serious, stoic, medieval king. He speaks in poetry. He carries the weight of the world.
Very dramatic.
Very dramatic. That is the established character. The audience expects consistency.
Right.
But then, imagine if right in the middle of a tragic scene, this stoic king suddenly pulls out a modern smartphone and tells a silly joke.
The audience would be so confused, the illusion would instantly shatter.
Yes. The actor completely broke the rules of the role. They acted literally out of character.
And over time, we just started using that for the real world.
Exactly. It expanded beyond the stage to describe anything, a person, a situation, or a building that looks or behaves completely differently from its usual nature.
So with the Beijing egg, the historical district is playing a role. It's ancient, it's traditional.
The expectation is set.
And then, boom, a futuristic titanium dome shows up. It's the architectural equivalent of the Stoic king telling a modern joke.
That is a brilliant way to put it. It completely breaks the visual illusion. But of course, we mostly use it for people today.
Oh, for sure. Like, we all assign scripts to our friends or celebrities based on how they usually act.
Keanu Reeves is the best example of this from our notes.
Yes. Keanu Reeves. Globally, his established character is just pure kindness.
The patron saint of Hollywood kindness.
Exactly. Giving up his subway seat, being polite to fans, we fully expect him to be calm and generous.
So what would happen if a video surfaced of him just screaming at someone on the street?
It would break the internet because it's so wildly out of character for him, it violates the script you wrote for him.
The shock value comes from the breaking consistency.
Right. But I want to test the boundaries on this one too, because what if the pattern someone breaks is actually a bad pattern?
Give me a scenario.
What if I have a friend who usually just sits on the couch all day, like never exercises, but suddenly they decide to start training for a marathon?
Okay, big life change.
Huge change. They're running every day, eating healthy. Can I call that out of character?
I would strongly advise against it. This is a major rule for this phrase.
Really, but it fits the definition. It breaks my expectation.
It does break your expectation. But think about the emotional weight. Out of character implies an anomaly, a temporary break from reality.
Oh, I see.
If your friend works so hard to intentionally change their life for the better, calling it out of character sounds incredibly dismissive.
It's like I'm invalidating all their hard work.
Yes. You're basically telling them, this isn't the real you, your true nature is the lazy guy, and this is just a weird phase.
Wow. It's actually kind of toxic to say that to a friend who is improving.
It really is. You shouldn't use it to describe a positive, intentional life change. You have to let their character evolve.
That makes total sense. And our notes cautioned against another scenario, too, regarding mental health.
Yes. This is the second major boundary. You should avoid using it to minimize someone experiencing a genuine mental health crisis or severe distress.
Because it treats an emergency like a quirky phase.
Exactly. If someone is deeply depressed or having a breakdown, their behavior will change. But if you just wave it away and say, oh, they're just acting out of character, you're trivializing their pain.
You're reducing their suffering to a theatrical mistake.
And that prevents people from realizing that this person might actually need serious help.
That is such a vital distinction. So we use it for buildings clashing or celebrities breaking their persona, but never to dismiss hard work or minimize psychological pain.
You've got it. It's a powerful phrase, but not a tool for dismissal.
All right, so we've covered mildly annoying environments with off-putting and breaking expectations with out of character. Let's transition to things that break the bounds of modesty.
Oh, yes.
Things that cross over into pure material excess. Our final target sentence is, he invited a lot of celebrities and business icons to his lavish birthday parties.
Lavish. Just saying the word feels heavy, doesn't it?
It really does. It sounds expensive.
Well, the history of it is intensely visual and dramatic. It comes from the old French word lavas.
Lavas, what did that mean? Like gold?
Not money at all. It meant a massive downpour or a deluge of rain.
Like a torrential storm.
Exactly. A storm where the sky just opens up and water floods the streets. It's this overwhelming, unstoppable outpouring.
That is incredible imagery. So how did it become about money?
By the 1400s, English speakers started applying it metaphorically.
Yeah.
Instead of pouring rain, it meant pouring out wealth or gifts or praise in these huge overflowing amounts.
Connecting a literal storm to showering someone with expensive things? I love that.
It's very poetic.
So in our sentence, inviting celebrities to lavish birthday parties, it's not just an expensive party, it's a torrential downpour of wealth and luxury.
Exactly. It's a flood of resources.
Yeah.
And we have the perfect modern example of this in our notes.
Yes, Jeff Bezos' super yacht.
Ah, the $500 million yacht.
It's the ultimate picture of lavish, because a normal yacht wasn't enough, right? He got one so massive that it actually needed its own separate
A
luxury
support vessel.
just to follow it around and carry his helicopter.
It is the absolute pinnacle of the Lavish. It is the downpour of wealth.
A boat for your boat, it's not about efficiency, it's just a physical manifestation of infinite resources pouring into the ocean.
It truly is. But again, we need to set the boundaries for our listeners.
Right, when not to use it.
Because since lavish involves spending a lot of money, people get confused. But let me ask you this. Could you describe a massive charity event aimed at fighting poverty as lavish?
Well, if they're pouring out millions of dollars, doesn't it fit the downpour metaphor?
Mechanically, yes. But emotionally and socially, strongly no.
Why?
Because lavish implies a sense of celebration and over-the-top excess. It has this selfish, indulgent undertone.
Oh,
So using a word that means indulgent excess to describe an event for poverty, it creates this grotesque clash of tones.
like you're implying the organizers wasted the money on caviar and ice sculptures for themselves instead of helping people.
Exactly. It feels deeply inappropriate, and we apply that same rule to somber occasions too.
Like a funeral.
Yes. Even if a wealthy family spends a staggering amount of money on a beautiful memorial, you never call a funeral lavish.
Because it strips away the solemnity and makes it sound like a boastful party.
Right. And you wouldn't use it for modest professional situations either. You wouldn't say, join us for a lavish Tuesday morning budget review.
Featuring a lavish pitcher of tap water.
Right, it sounds ridiculous. It's strictly reserved for things that are undeniably rich, expensive, and undeniably costly. Mansions, grand celebrations, huge feasts.
Got it. Keep it away from charities, funerals, and standard business meetings.
Exactly.
Wow. This has been such a journey for you listening today. Let's briefly recap what we've learned for you.
We covered a lot of ground.
We did. We learned that off-putting is for a mild annoyance, like a ruined vibe, but never for tragedy or appearance. We learned out of character is a broken expectation, straight from the theater, but shouldn't be used to dismiss growth or mental health struggles.
And lavish is an absolute deluge of wealth, strictly reserved for over-the-top excess.
It really is amazing how these phrases shape our world.
It is. And I want to leave you, the listener, with a final thought to mull over.
Go ahead.
Think about how knowing the history of these words, like an actor breaking a scene or a massive medieval rainstorm, changes the pictures that form in your mind when you speak them.
It really does.
Does understanding the vivid history behind these words change the way you will express yourself in your everyday life?
That is such a great question to reflect on. Thank you to everyone listening for joining us for this episode of the Chattable podcast. We hope you learned some real English, had fun, and are proud of the progress you are making. We will catch you next time.